Hello, hello, hello. Is it working? Are we live? Are we live? We're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back again. Another night, another live stream. Just chatting it up. We got some more news. Some more Pokemon Sleep news. A video of mine is going live in about 20 minutes or so. Once YouTube finishes its series of checks, then my news video should be live. But you can go watch that after the stream. I'm just doing some prep here. Thought I might show my prep on stream. Are you early? No, you're not early at all. Well, actually, I guess you are early. I haven't done anything yet. Good to see you in chat, Ellie. Ellie Abs. Hey there, Sonja. It's a good night. It's a good night. We got Pokemon Sleep news talking about the event coming up. I think I'm leaning towards Greengrass Expert mode right now. But it's either going to be that or Old Gold Power Plant. But I really don't want to go away from Expert mode because of Expert bonus. I don't want to waste it. Thank you for being live. Needed this. Anytime, Cameron. I enjoy going live, especially on news nights after I finish up the news video. Now that news video should be out in 18 minutes. Stat. I can push it out sooner, but if I was to, I'd likely lose out on money. Likely. So, once the monetization is up, it'll be up, though. But anyway, yeah, news information. We know something very interesting, and that is Expert Mode bonuses. It's going to be one of these 3 berries, which means we have 6 potential outcomes. Maybe 9? Make your money. Yeah. Ad revenue. YouTube needs to finish its checks before it can be posted first. But it shouldn't take too long. I can see how it's coming, though. I can maybe push it sooner if it's done with its checks. It's still doing its checks. Alrighty, hey there, Jacket Jack. I'm 2 days away from unlocking Palmot's Evolution contingent. Great time for Roaming Beasts event. Yeah, I can agree with that. Mine's about 4 days away right now. My Pablo. I put a lot of hours on it a while back. I might be pushing it more because a lot of the team building I've done has Palmot. My only other option really was... it was, Cresselia for healer, just because the Berry Burst is such a powerful, like, secondary effect. However, it wasn't worth the fact that I couldn't run one of the beasts, particularly my Entei. So, the beasts are just insane for this event if you have a good one. And you don't even need to have an event. They're boosted because during the second week of the event, they're going to be boosted by 5 levels. So even one with a level 1 main skill that you just catch off the street will have a maxed out main skill level during the second week of the event, which is absolutely nuts. So, be using Cresselia over one of them when it's also weakened by the fact that it doesn't have the boosts, and it's weakened by the fact that it's going to be 15% slower in Greengrass Expert mode. It's actually worth it for me to not run Cresselia and choose Palmot over it. And obviously, Palmot is better than Gardevoir for this event, so I don't even have to put in any seeds, because, once again, it's going to be boosted. So, looks like Palmot's going to be my go-to for both weeks. I want to go to Expert mode just because of building up more Expert bonus, although there's a part of me that really wants to go to Old Gold Power Plant to hunt more Raikou, which gives me a lot more chances at Raikou. But anyway, can I Discord you a lengthier question that I have? Sure, Jazz. I won't get the notification, but I'll be looking for it. I have my Discord notifications muted right now because I'm streaming. Hello there, Lone Sniper. I'll be keeping an eye out for that message, though, so I can maybe answer it. Yeah, hello there. Yeah, I still don't know, but anyway, I want to prep kind of for both potential outcomes of all 6 types. There's so many different options. Because I already kind of did 3 here. Skill boost and ingredient boost, and I really don't know what's going to be the best for me, realistically. I have so many notifications in Discord. After the news dropped, it was just like all of a sudden all my Discord servers went wild. Because I'm in so many Pokemon Sleep Discords. Just crazy. I've only been started playing this year, so I want to see all of the beasts. Well, you'll probably be able to see all of them. You'll probably can get an incense for each of them. You can probably try to catch at least one of each. If I had to guess, the first incense for each one is probably going to be cheaper than subsequent incenses, which means it's probably going to look best to be able to catch at least one of each. But realistically, I think it's going to be best, optimization-wise, to just target down the one that's going to benefit your box the most, because there's more re-rolled options than... because the base Legendary Beast isn't amazing. Surprise livestream. Surprise livestream indeed. Well, surprise news. I wasn't expecting such crazy news to happen so many weeks in advance. I wasn't expecting to get details for this event so soon. Very soon. True, Raikou will definitely be the best for me. Greengrass Expert might give less mains, though. It might. That's also true. We really won't know, though, because will they boost main drop from it, like they do with Dream Shards and Research XP, and theoretically Candy as well? If you go Expert mode, which berry would you benefit from the most? Well, it's gonna either be Fire or Electric, because I'm getting a lot from Entei. So... Electric because well, actually... I for Alligator's pulling a lot of strength here, but that's just because I have a meal... Well, no, I don't have a meal logged. So for Alligator's interestingly pulling more strength with this setup, which is the ingredients boosted. If it's the berry boosted, then I believe Electric type gives me the best probably, just because of Pawmot and Raichu both being there. Being that I have 2 Electric type Pokemon on the team that I'm most likely going to have. Okay. I think the increased shiny rate is enough of a reason for me to go to Greengrass Expert. That's true. Increased shiny... Is there a shiny rate boost from the event as a whole? I don't think there is. No, there doesn't seem to be. How are we going to catch all 3? Is it even reasonable to go after all of them or focus one? Don't have any of the beasts, and I'll have to get over the initial catch for each. Yeah, it looks like... Now, we are missing some details. We're missing how much the incenses cost, and we're missing how much the Premier Biscuits cost. That information will help us theorize that a bit more, but it's looking like the best, most optimal route, if you're looking to just optimize the game, is figure out which one's going to fill in a gap in your box the best, based off whatever you have in your box, and go for that one. Most people, that's probably going to be Raikou, just because it's easy to catch a good Raichu. Not as easy to catch a good Typhlosion or for Alligator. And on top of that, Raikou has Pawmot as a healer partner, whereas the other two don't have a reliable healer partner. Suicune does have the Slow Twins, but they're not great. Also, base Greengrass not having 3 stars off-putting as well will mean less mains from research. Yeah, that's most likely. I've done the comparison in the past, and usually base Greengrass does yield less mains. I'm not sure how it's going to look with Expert mode. It all depends on how many mains they make Expert mode yields, because by default you'd think it'd yield less, but oh well. Yeah, my Fire and Water Berrymons aren't even French level 10+, but I have a Berry Thing as help bonus Raichu. Yeah, Pichu is super common. Pikachu is super common. If you're hunting both, you're probably going to get it pretty easily. Sent question. Alrighty, I'm checking here. Hopefully you can help me with deciding where I should go for the Roaming Beasts event. Ugh. I'm leaning towards either OGPP or Greengrass Expert. The reason I want to go to OGPP is to target Raikou, which is the only beast I don't have a good one of. You know, you're in a very similar situation to me. You have like the exact same dilemma I'm having. The appeal of Greengrass Expert Amiibo is the boosted shiny rate. I've been wanting shiny beast for as long as they've been in the game. Main concern is that the spawn pool is much bigger and the GP requirement on Greengrass Expert mode is much higher. Do you think that the greater appearance rate is enough to justify going to Greengrass Expert? Also, does it override the natural drowsy power requirement? I know that by default, isn't one of the Greengrass Expert mode boosts that the beasts spawn more often? I think that's a thing, that legends are more likely to spawn in Expert mode. I would need to look at the Expert mode details again. What are all the boosts in expert mode? I have to go back to that. I'm really torn between it. It's not an easy question to answer because I also want a really good I want a really good and solid Raikou because it's like the one that I don't have a good one of either. Okay. Grandmaster Expert was just Raikou boosted. Wait, it was? Just Raikou? Oh yeah, just Raikou has an increased rate. Well... I mean, it's a tighter spawn pool, but at the same time, theoretically with all three of them being boosted, that theoretically should increase the odds that you see a wild one overall. So, I think, but that requires that you reach a high drowsy power as well, which that's still pretty difficult to do on Greengrass Isle Expert Mode. Where do they start spawning? That's also a very good question. And can you actually reach that point? Let's see. Where do they start spawning at Greengrass Expert? Both by base and with DPR. Let's see. Base... Can we sort by just legends? No, you cannot. Okay, well, we can do this at least to tighten it a little bit. Oh wait, first stage, I think that would be... No, final evolution would be less, I think. And fire, water, electric. There we go, that's gonna be the tightest we can get this. Okay, they spawn at... Wait, where's Raikou? Oh, right. Raikou spawns a rank sooner than the other two. That's probably to account for the fact that it's got a boosted rate. So it's more itself. So, Ultra 3, 1.374. Now, does that hold true with DPR accounted for? Yes, it does. Ultra 3. So that really doesn't take that much strength. Week 2... Let's see, if we make this week 1... And I would only have 20% expert bonus, not 25%. So I'll step this back a little bit. And also week 1 is missing... Wow, my computer is lagging. I need to refresh the page once I'm done with this. Is this going to be a 3-level boost? But I think that only matters for me my Typhlosion, because the other ones have a bit more levels. Okay, we're refreshing the page to clear the cache or something. Okay. 4.9 million is about what I can get per day. With the berry boost. If I got the ingredient boost just sucks. I'm gonna say it now. I think there's some interesting things you can do with it. But it takes a lot more work to make it, to get the most strength out of it. And realistically, I think in order to get the most strength out of it, you'd have to have prep. But given that it's random, it's like impossible to prep for. So I think that the ingredient boost just kind of honestly is the worst of the three. Is easily the worst of the 3 expert mode boosts. But anyway, 4, 9, 2, 3, 5, 2, 0. That's divided across 7 days. That's 703,000 a day. Which I could get to the point of seeing these beasts by night 3 as 1 star. Ugh. That's sadly late. It's going to be your mini candy boost investment next week. Probably nothing. I don't think I'll have the dream shards. I'd like to invest them, but I'd like to invest something. But I just don't have the dream shards to be able to afford it. I'm super spendy. And I don't have anything. Don't have the shards to afford it. But anyway, I'm missing these 2 styles. I would like to get to that point. This puts me in a dilemma. I don't think I'm going to be buying any Suicune incense, because I already have all 3 styles for Suicune. I already have a good Suicune. I don't need to catch another one. I've already got 2 of the styles for Entei. And I'm going to be trying to catch Raikou. I thought all YouTubers are supposed to be rich. I wish. I think we're in the same boat. Yeah. We're very much so generally in the same boat. I cannot wait for... Well, we can kind of make... This isn't going to be a great comparison, but map rewards. Yeah, I will tell you, Pokemon Sleep YouTube does not pay the bills. I mean, it does a decent amount. It pulls in nice hobby pay. But if I was trying to live off of what I make off this channel, I wouldn't have a roof over my head, basically. I would not be able to afford a roof over my head if I was trying to live off of what I'm making off this hobby. It's a good thing I have a full-time job, aside from this. Also, no candy boost for Beast event is kind of surprising, although we have been getting a lot. That's not surprising. We've never had candy boost for a Beast event. It's always for the preparatory weeks before weeks, like the type week, which we do have it for the triple type week coming up here next week. Which that's following the standard. So what do you do for work, if you don't mind me asking? I work a call center. It's a very not exciting job. It's just something to pay the bills. But anyway, up to 7 million. Let's say it's like 7.5 million. Okay, from 500,000. We're going to try and just compare Greengrass Expert Mode compared to Old Gold Power Plants. I'm only going to do like 20 count, because that should be good enough to give us a decent idea. Do I go through and custom click every single one for the boost? That'd be so many boosted. I'm just not even going to bother. It should still give us a decent idea. Well, but it might matter for the beasts being boosted, so we'll add them in. But I don't think I'm going to bother with all the fire, water, and electric types in the game. Okay. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're just going to have them boosted. Let's see what this says. We're just going to say for balance type. And pseudo-balanced. Balanced, pseudo-balanced, sure. For research items, if we were doing for... I guess Entei main. Well, it's gonna unfavorably benefit. We'll go with Cresselia down because it's the most neutral of the three. Oh, I should have done. I probably should have done Monte Carlo. Click every single one, and then the page refreshes, resetting the choices. Ooh, that'd be rough. It does expect a higher output at Greengrass Expert, but this comes with a heavy asterisk. Heavy asterisk of, Rain on X, like these tools. It comes with a lot of asterisks. 1. This tool is not calculating for the actual event currency. The numbers could be very different for the event currency. Like, certain spawns have different amounts. It varies. The other big thing, we don't know if the calculation for research or for this tool is proper for it is set up correctly yet for the spawn algorithm. The spawn algorithm for expert mode has not been figured out. That's what it is. This is just an approximation. So, but if this approximation is to be believed, then it looks as if Greengrass expert mode outputs more down, or compared to Cresselia down, it looks like it outputs more on average than with the old gold power plant output. Now, how does it compare to the other islands? At least on balanced sleep. This could lag my computer for a bit. We could be sitting here for a moment as the numbers roll in. Ugh. Yeah, because that's showing Greengrass Isle itself actually outproducing at lower ranks, interestingly enough. Higher ranks, not so much, though. Wow, this looks crazy. As it's figuring out the numbers. Wow, this is kind of majestic, not gonna lie. There's something oddly satisfying about the numbers just populating slowly over time. Maybe I'm just weird, and I find this satisfying. Yeah, it definitely looks like Greengrass Expert Mode is actually expected to output the highest amount, based off this preliminary calculation. But that's also assuming you can reach the same strengths at Greengrass Expert Mode. Which... can you? That's a very good question. Because you're going to have lower drowsy power, most likely, because the most you're going to have by that point... velocity after stream and release a video at the same time. I can do that because of delayed releases. I delayed it because I wanted to make sure it was, the YouTube finished its checks with it, so I make the ad revenue off the first couple views. But anyway. Yeah, it looks like, it's the best to go to Greengrass Expert if you can reach the same strength levels. The problem is you're not going to have more than 25% area bonus there yet, because that's literally impossible. By the time that we reach week 2, your max area bonus is going to be 25%. React to the new VR video. React to my own news video that I just released. No, because then you guys won't go and watch it again, and then I'll get less views. I want that video to do well. I could have done a premiere on it, whatever it's called. There's an option for that, but I started streaming, so... is this the first time the Beast have had a greatly increased appearance rate? I thought it was slightly in the past. I'm pretty certain it's always been greatly for them. It's just they have such a low base spawn rate that, like... it didn't really matter. Okay, I went a little bit too far back. Let's go to, like, 54 instead. That might be a little better. Valentine's Day. That'd be just after Lapis Lakeside. Oh, wait a minute. I actually went back further. I didn't want to... I need to go forward to... Entei... or Raikou would be the first one. Okay. I think this is the one we're looking for. No. This is just an event notice. Where's the actual event details? Electric Week... Here it is. Event. Okay, it was... oh. Slightly greater appearance rate. Those guys. Wait, did they even boost Raikou's rate? Raikou's not even listed as having a... oh, wait, no. Yeah, it is slightly boosted. Raikou was slightly boosted. Did they boost it for... what about for Entei? Let's jump forward a little bit, see if we can get to Entei. Wow! I could not have planned that better. Entei. Slightly greater appearance rate. Entei. Yeah, they only slightly boosted their rates. Apparently. Let's see, can we get lucky again and land perfectly? Oh my gosh! What? I just... that was sheer luck? Okay, let's see. Suicune. Go buy a lotto ticket. Oh, I wish I did. Oh, okay. Slightly greater appearance rate. Also Suicune. Yeah, they only slightly boosted their rates. Now, what about for Cresselia versus Darkrai? Okay, if I get it again here, then we know there's something crazy going on. Oh, I didn't. I went a little bit too far back. I was like 2 pages off. Conduct a sleep review. Okay, event Cresselia versus Darkrai. Did they... is it greater? No, even Cresselia versus Darkrai. Cresselia was slightly greater appearance rate. We may actually be seeing the legend, like, a lot of wild beasts. A lot of wild beasts, then, potentially. Like, that's a significant difference. It'll be interesting to see how that'll feel with the legendaries. But that is a notable difference. I wish I had noticed that before I recorded my video, because then I would have made note of it. Because that is a significant difference. This is why you watch the follow-up, everyone. I learn more things as I look at your guys' reactions. I answer your guys' questions and do the research. But yeah. Welcome, Lol. Thanks, Jazz. But yeah. Yeah, and everything else is only slightly greater, which is that makes sense. But it looks like yeah, if you want the most event rewards, probably go... Well, but I can't make that statement. I wish I could make that statement, but we don't have the calculations for expert mode fully figured out yet. I wish they had them, because that would actually really work things out. Now, I'm guessing... Well, but the difference between, like, 3 million and up here, like... You're not getting that many more down, or not that many more event rewards from the later amounts. Like, it's actually showing old gold power plant the worst. Now, is it the case on the other sleep styles? Because that's also a calculation. The legendary beasts all share the same drowsy power. Wouldn't the spawn pool be kind of rough? Yeah, I mean, wait, the spawn pool, like the other ones, the other spawns that spawn in, they are more likely to get worse off spawns outside the legendary. I guess I don't really understand what's being asked. They also don't all share the same drowsy power. Raikou is a little bit less than Entei, which is a little bit less than Suicune. For some reason, they made Suicune ever so slightly rarer and eat more drowsy power. And same with Entei, compared to Raikou. If you take a look at the sleep decks... Oh, maybe only 2 legendary spawns at most. We've never seen more than 1 legendary spawn in the same night. As far as we can tell, it's impossible. There's been no hardcore proof to prove that, but no one to this point has found 2 legendaries in the same night. So as far as we can tell, it is impossible to encounter both. Also, Yeah. See, Raikou is a little bit less than Entei, which is a little bit less than Suicune. So that will be an interesting thing, is that if you want, like, naturally wild spawning Entei, go to top. Because if you go to Greengrass or Greengrass Expert, your 1 legendary spawn could be a Suicune or a Raikou. Which means that, theoretically, they would eat the 1 legendary spawn, which, as of right now, we're pretty confident you can only get 1 legendary spawn. So if you want Entei, go to top. If you want to really hunt Suicune, go to Cyan. If you want to really hunt Raikou, go to Old Gold, is what it looks like is the best. Do you think Raikou's naturally slightly greater appearance rate will stack with its event greater appearance rate on Greengrass Expert mode? Probably. I'd see no reason why not. There is a note down here about, like, if multiple events overlap, then... Yeah, same type of bonus, the larger bonus is applied, but that's just like event bonuses. It doesn't say anything about expert bonuses, so I would assume they'd stack. But my guess would also be, given that Raikou is competing with Entei and Suicune for that 1 legendary spawn, my guess is that it's probably going to be more common at Old Gold. It's also probably going to be easier to get to higher Snorlax strengths at Old Gold. What if you're, like, really new? I'm at Cyan right now. Should I stay there or go to Greengrass? So it depends on what your goals are. If you don't have very much area bonus at either island yet, just go to whichever one you have more area bonus at, because they're functionally going to be the same, aside from the spawn pool. Outside of the spawn pool. So if you really want to hunt down Suicune, but if you're really, really new, you're probably not going to be hitting levels where you can encounter wild mons. So realistically, the difference is going to be very minimal if you're new. So I'd say just go wherever the spawn pool seems to benefit you the most. I'd suggest stick around the channel, because as I do more calculations, once we get the data mines and the numbers on the amount of premium or event rewards, once we figure out the event rewards numbers, then I may be able to give a better hint or better advice as to which is going to be better for event rewards. But my advice would probably be, if you think you can push to a level where Suicune can naturally spawn, and you want to hunt Suicune specifically, then probably go Cyan. Otherwise, just stick with Greengrass. Sorry, not like crazy new. I'm hitting Master 6 on Cyan, but I will stay tapped in the channel for sure. That's good to hear. And thank you for sticking around. As far as what it takes to actually encounter Suicune naturally, I actually don't know where that level is. We're looking for Suicune, so we're just going to say skills, water, final evolution. That should tighten it quite a bit. You can't see Suicune at all until Master 6 naturally. So that's the highest you can reach on Cyan. Then I'd say it really doesn't matter. If your area bonus is similar, I will stay tuned on where you're expected to get the most mains. Yep, that's what I'd say. Manifesting 3 stars Entei. I want the 3-star Entei and the 3-star Raikou. I need them both. They're the two that I didn't get. If you're going to get more mains by staying on Cyan, then I think you'll strongly benefit from the additional mains versus anything else. Yeah. Tundra fans can't stop losing. And this is the best channel, especially if you're new here. Welcome to the team. Can't agree more, Cameron. And yeah, Tundra. That's so unfortunate, the Tundra. Also, why is Lapis being left out of this? Suicune can spawn there. Suicune exists at Lapis. Why are they leaving it out? I guess they just wanted to make it really clear, like, if you want Suicune, they want to be like, Cyan is the water island, Old Gold is the electric island, Fire is at top. They probably didn't want to make it confusing. Thanks, Cameron. Thank you. Glad to see the message. But yeah, Suicune can spawn at Lapis, but Lapis is not being hit with the event. What do you mean, Tundra fans? They don't exist. Yeah, the Tundra gets a lot of hate, and I understand why. It is the most bland island. There's not much there. It's got Cresselia. Got those water berries at Lapis during the Suicune event, but never again for us. Yeah, just for the 1 week. Although they did randomize them for Cresselia versus Darkrai. You could have had water berries during that event. But it would have been random chance. So, Snowdrop Tundra, the most least. It's just an unfortunate island. It gets left out all the time. I don't even know what the Sleepers is going to do during this event, because it doesn't want any of these 3. Like, I guess it's just going to go wherever it can, because I don't want to sit out of the event, because the event exchange. I want to get all that I can from the event exchange for the Sleepers. But at the same time, I don't want the beasts. I am able... I will say this. I do have a clause for legendaries during their legendary events on the Sleepers. I did this with Cresselia. I am able to use them during their event. And during their event exclusively. So if I catch one, I can use it during the event. Which may actually be nice week 2. But I can't really think of what's going to work best for Sleepers, because I don't think I have any fire types on there. And I don't think I have any water types. I guess I have a slow... I probably have a Slowpoke that I can make into a Slowking or Slowbro. So I guess I could do that. Try to catch... Sorry. 1 Suicune for week 2. And then just use that. Does the event overlap with new moon or full moon? Let me see. I don't know. Lunar cycle Japan. Because you gotta base it off of Tokyo, Japan, because that's what they base their calendar off of. So the full moon. The event is running from the 8th to the 21st of September, right? Yes. So 8th is a lunar eclipse. So the first 2 days of the event should be a full moon. The 8th and the 9th should be the tail end of the lunar event. The full moon event. And then the tail end of it, the 22nd, we should catch the first day of the new moon would be the 21st. So it would actually overlap with both of them slightly. The start of it's going to be the full moon event, the end of it's going to be the new moon. Look at the full list of boosted spawns and see what you can catch out of those Pokemon. I guess that's probably the other way to go about it, is see, is there anything that I want to hunt? Oh, this is Cresselia versus Darkrai, wrong event. Can't catch that, can't catch that, can't catch that, All Growlithe and Arcanine, that's not banned. Wait, these guys are allowed. Actually, all of those guys are. On the sleepers. Cyndaquil, nope, 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 nope. Slowking's allowed. Plusle and Minun are allowed. I think that's it. So, Arcanine, the Slow Twins, Vaporeon, Jolteon, Flareon, so the evolutions. And then Slowking, Plusle, and Minun. Everyone will be praying for a shiny on that last new moon day of the event. The very last day. Yep, save your incenses so that you can run one incense, that the one you want a shiny of the most. Is it worth going to OGPP for Raikou if my projected strength from Rerun is sitting me at 2 Master 7 by end of week? I feel like I won't have that many spawns or shots at catching it during the event. So, you start getting max spawns at around 900 something K OGPP in, like, the midst of Ultra 5. Like, Vaporeon is Sleepers legal. That was a relative recent change. I added Ingredient Magnet to the list of legal skills. That was a recent change. Not because Vaporeon's bad at the skill, just because I feel like the skill is really difficult to use optimally and on optimal teams. So that's why I started allowing it, because the way that I ban skills mons is based off what main skill they have. And I recently unbanned that skill. I guess, yeah. It is the best for that skill, though. And it was probably one of the closest things that I came to doing what I did with Charizard. Because, like, Charizard and Victory Bell and Abomasnow, those three all technically meet my definitions for being legal as per, like, how I mathematically defined it in Rain on X, of which Pokemon should be and should be banned. They technically should be legal. But Abomasnow, Charizard, and Victory Bell do not feel like Pokemon that should be Sleepers legal, so I've just vetoed the math and said, nope, they're still banned. When will Sleepers debut a mainstay metronome user? I mean, if I ever catch one and have the seeds to put into it. Thanks for the help. Anytime, Jazz. Thanks for the super. It's very well appreciated. I never know what to say when people give me supers, but I do appreciate it genuinely with my heart. Help Helpers is going to catch as many Pokemon as possible leading up to this event, because it'll be huge for that account. Agreed, Adrian. Catch as many things as you can. W Jazz, indeed. Good morning, Ubu, Malu, if that's how it's pronounced. But anyway, I think my best play is to just focus down my 3 best berry finders, because the boost for the event, with it being random, alive, I've been waiting all week. Oh, nice, nice. Oh, wait, what did I just do? What? How did I... What button did I press? I don't know what button I pressed there. In my opinion, all legendary events, you should generally just go to your strongest item for the highest amount of mains. That's not always the case, though, because even you can get more... I mean, I can show it here with the map rewards. If you can get, like, beyond, like, 3 million Snorlax strength, it doesn't matter which one's getting the most amount of strength. It matters more which island you're at. Because you can look from, like, the Cresselia down in past events. Like, the higher islands just did better in general. Which this is interesting. It's still showing Lapis doing a little bit better in dozing, but yeah. I'm just going to assume it's worth trying for Raikou if I intend on using Palmot for my main healer in the future. I didn't put in all the event boosts because I'm on my phone, so I assume it'll be higher than M7 OGPP. Yeah, probably. Event boosts make a big difference. Got 3 Crest encounters during the last event, and I was pretty weak back then, and I still have another instance I can use. Nice, nice. Also, this one, random roaming beasts, seems like a much higher likelihood, because they're giving us a greater boost rate, instead of just a slightly greater appearance rate, like they have in the past, so yeah. I just honestly like how they're giving us another chance to chase the dogs. Yeah, I do too. I like that they're giving a I like it more for the people that weren't around for the first time. For those of us that already kind of were around during their events, this is kind of just like a nice little opportunity for if we missed a sleep style or we didn't catch a good variant of one of them that we really wanted. It's unfortunate because for me, Raikou is definitely the one that would benefit my box the most, but it's the one that I didn't catch a good one of. Can you find the link for the Discord? In the description of all my videos. I don't put it in my streams, but I can copy it here if you give me a moment. I'll put it in chat. Or is it a premium? Nope, it's right there. Glad to have you. Maybe for the Kyogre Groudon event, they can give us encounters based on if our area is the drought or if it's flooding. Oh, that'd be funny. Shouts out. Yep. Okay. But yeah, it's not necessarily about where you can just get the strongest for the most main. I think part of it's also hunting. Like, this one's especially unique. Because you have that at certain islands, only certain ones can spawn. Now, something that I'll be interested to see. The incenses. Okay, Raikou Entei during the event. Okay. Wait. Okay, so they can be used in islands that they can't normally spawn at. So this creates something very interesting. You can... Because it's basically saying that these incenses can be used at all 3 or all 4 islands that are... Or 5, I guess, if you count expert mode. Islands that are part of the event. Which means, theoretically, you could catch an Entei at Cyan Beach during this event. And you could have an Entei that says it was caught at Cyan Beach, making it a legacy option. I always like thinking about things like that, because legacy options are kind of cool. It's not necessarily optimal, but it's neat. Groupon mentioned. So excited. What's the prediction on Pokemon material on expert mode? Right now it looks... So, this is very rough. Take this with a heavy grain of salt. But from what I've seen from the calculations that I've run, it looks like expert mode outputs the most amount of event rewards. Based off the current calculation methods. But stay tuned. Make sure you have notifications and stuff enabled, because I will be making a future video when these tools are more tuned to what we're actually looking for and aren't necessarily... are using the proper calculation method. We're still trying to figure out how spawns work in expert mode. But as of right now, it looks like expert mode's the best for event rewards. There's no guarantee on that. It also could be different for this event, because different spawns could have different amounts for this specific one. There's a different calculation for each one of these. Are you going to Greengrass Expert every week leading up to the event? For sure. Especially if I'm not going to be going there during it, because I don't want to waste too much area bonus. Will you be re-rolling? No, I'm not re-rolling. I will never re-roll Expert Mode, because if you re-roll Expert Mode, you're wasting 5% area bonus that you could be getting otherwise. Especially if you're like me and are at max area bonus everywhere else, every time you re-roll an expert with an expert ticket, you are wasting 5% area bonus. So, I'm never re-rolling, ever. Unless it's a situation where I can go somewhere else and then the area bonus, yeah. Do we know if area bonus transfers to normal islands to Greenhouse Expert Mode? It does not. That was confirmed in the information from the news when we learned about Expert Mode. It specifically says that it does not transfer back and forth. So, that's why I'm like, I'm never going to reroll extra tickets. If the page would load, I'll show you. If you don't go to Greengrass Expert for the event, will you travel tickets Sunday night to get area bonus on Greengrass Expert? Maybe. Honestly, I didn't think about that. I guess I could do that. That's actually a really good idea. Then I can get the advantage of both. Because that's really the only thing making me go to expert mode. Is just for the fact that it's The extra area bonus. Okay. Yeah, it says if an extra over its limit, the extra bonus will not be transferred to regular area bonus and vice versa. There's a note right there. Extra mode transfers between expert islands, I assume, however. It hasn't confirmed that, but it hasn't denied it either, so I'd assume you're correct. We won't truly know until more islands get an expert mode. Will the green good camp ticket hit in time? I'm just gonna use 2 good camp tickets. I'm gonna have 2 good camp tickets during it. Whether I have the one from the thing or not, I'll spend diamonds on it. I'm willing to spend a little bit of money on this game. I make money off this game, so more than I could ever imagine spending on it. So, well, with the way that I play, I'm pretty frugal with things, so I could spend more money than what I'm making off of YouTube videos, but I don't see, with the way that I've enjoyed playing the game, ever going beyond that. Need that extra money. Yeah, and then everything that I don't spend is pocket money. Get him rich, boys. Only do it if you feel so called to do so. I'm never gonna beg for money. I just enjoy making the content, and I've been making it for free. I was doing it for free for nearly a year. Or actually, like, 6 months? It was a while before I got any sort of monetization. The mill is coming. Oh boy. But yeah. Pretty frugal looks at VR's Dream Shard pack. Okay, I'm very liberal with spending my Dream Shards. Never do you deserve thanks. Anytime, Ubu. But yeah. No, I spend my Dream Shards pretty heavily. I'm frugal with my diamonds. That's what I'm frugal with. I don't want to spend too many diamonds, other than maybe on, like... I pretty much only ever consider bundles if they have a main skill seed in them. Other than that, my diamonds go toward good camp tickets, bag expansions when they're available, and then maybe a bundle if it has a main skill seed or has a lot of biscuits and is decent value. Ivan Brown is missing... Yeah, he's not in chat right now. We're missing him. But yeah, if I go... So then... Where's the tie? The tie is just for the news videos. The streams get the hat. The hat. That was a gift from Adrian Styles. Huge shout out. Ain't got the tie. No, I don't. It's sitting next to me. I already had it on for recording the video. Fair play. Yep. But yeah, if I get the 2... So then... Okay. Given that I want to hunt down Raikou... Actually, you know what? I think I'll go to Old Gold Power Plant. Come to think of it, because I think I can get a higher area bonus. I have a higher area bonus, so I'll get higher strength. That means I can encounter Raikou sooner. I can hunt Raikou specifically, rather than the other options potentially taking the spawns. And then also, I can theoretically, if I catch a Suicune and an Entei, then I can also get, I could get legacy options for them. Just legacy Pokemon. I like legacy Pokemon. Higher strength also means better sleep styles and more mains. Yeah. And from what I've seen, now this is a very rough approximation, it looks like Old Gold Power Plant and Green Grass Extra Mode are pretty comparable for main output. So I'm expecting this to go well. Shiny boost though. That's true, but we're talking guaranteed having one of the only Suicunes and Entei that has a, that was caught at Old Gold Power Plant, or a very slim shiny boost. I don't know. Like, yeah, the shiny boost is cool, but I think to achieve my goals specifically of trying to hunt Raikou, it might be better. Comparable mains with the same drowsy power, but one of them will only have like a 20% area. Yeah, 20 to 25% area bonus. It's just gonna be lagging behind. Like, if I look down here, let's say I hit 5 million, or it's 5050 million. when I'm at that point... Oh, I turn off my numlock. There we go. 0.13. Divide by 1.75 times 1.25, because that's about what my expert bonus would be at. That's about 3.6 mil. Which means when I'm here at Old Gold Power Plant getting about 90 mains, the other one will be about here getting about 90. So it's going to be about the same, roughly. 90 versus 90. Just because the... Now, once again, that's assuming this calculation is working properly. Which we can't really assume that, but... It's a nice idea. I think it's probably better for me to go to Old Gold Power Plant and then just easy travel ticket away last minute so that I still get the area bonus where I want it to be. That's a great idea. Sunday night, I'll easy travel ticket after putting the Pokemon to sleep using the Go++. Strategy gotten, which means I don't have to worry as much about RNG because I know exactly what I can expect. I can expect that we'll be going to Old Gold Power Plant, and then all 3 berries are gonna be the same. 75%, there's gonna be no random boost, it's just gonna be the event boosts, which is almost kind of relaxing, because I know exactly what to expect. Yeah, especially for you and your Raichu. I mean, the Raichu squad would be treated the same way, because we know that the berries are, at every island, is gonna be fire, water, electric. That's been guaranteed to us. But we know that... Is this going to be better, or is it going to be better? Now, the only thing that we can then figure out is then meals. What meals do I target down? Because we know this is the berries, then. Team building time. Do I try to prep? I think I prep for 2 meal types, and then go whichever is stronger between the 2. I can probably prep for Defiant, and prep for Zing Zap because of apples. And those both take coffee. I can prep coffee for both. Entei and Feraligatr should make oil and sausage to assist on the Defiant. So I think that's probably gonna be the best one to target for me. I always prep for desserts and salads, never need curries. Do sub-favorite berries get the frequency boost? No, they do not get the frequency boost, but they get the additional boost. Either the berry strength bonus, the skill trigger rate bonus, or the ingredient rate boost. But the frequency boost is unique to the primary berry. That's not going to matter for me, though, because I'm not going to expert mode, so I don't have to think about that. A lot less diverging possibilities going to a non-expert mode island. And then that also means that other options are not frequency debuffed, which does give me a little bit of a bonus there as well, but... That means that running... I still need to probably... I have to consider a few more things now. Okay, let's just get rid of all these other ones that I was thinking about. Because now I have to consider, is it better to do that? Or is it better to do... Cresselia? Because Cresselia, while it's not getting the boosts, it's not going to be getting debuffed. Because then I theoretically could do the good old Crespion combo. 5.4 million versus 5. Okay, Entei's still better. Entei's still significantly better. Okay. So then I'm probably looking for a prep. Let's do the harder of the 2 first. Salads definitely would be more difficult with this team. But fortunately, potatoes. So here, it might be kind of... This is going to be difficult. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make this. Yeah, this is already not enough, because it would take more... It would take significantly more coffee. Like, I need more sausage and potatoes. I might have to make a weaker meal if I want to be able to prep for 2 meal types. Okay, let's see. This one takes eggs, potato... sausage. I'm making a lot of ginger by default. Ginger and oil. And apples. If I can make good use out of that. Here's gonna be a quite a while of headache. Want to offer meal suggestions, but I forget I'm not expert mode yet. I mean, this isn't expert mode, so I theoretically could use off type if it allows me to make a stronger meal. I guess it's probably best to go for this. And then, actually, it probably is better to go with Crespion. Just because the Espeon makes milk. And if I'm running Espeon, it's probably better to just run Cresselia. Because then I'm making good amount of milk, good amount of tomato. Well, but Entei makes tomatoes. Entei makes tomatoes, so that actually does help me out a little bit more in that regard. So then I probably want to keep Typhlosion, because it boosts the Entei, which means if I'm going to swap either of these off for eggs, it'd be for Alligator. To get a Chansey in there. So, but then we don't have a healer. And that we can't not have a healer. That's just a no-go. So it'd probably be better to... Yeah, it's probably still best to just run Cresselia. Even though it doesn't contribute to the ingredients. That's a lot of tomatoes that we're losing on, though. Wait a minute. I can just go back to Entei. I can go back to Entei, and then, unfortunately... Won't it be funny? What if we ran Ninetales as our healer? It's boosted, right? What if I got this guy to, like, level 50? Sub-skill seeded I'm not doing this. This is just a funny thing, because, you know, it's got a 5-level main skill boost the second week. Let's just see, if I did this... it's got a boosted skill trigger rate. Not a full picks, we'd make it to Ninetales, that's for sure. Actually, wow. Would you look at that? We get enough eggs, we get enough milk, and you know what? Honestly, what does our energy curve look like with this? Between the Chansey and the Ninetales? Like, this is a bad energy curve, don't get me wrong, but it's interesting that it actually, like, semi-sorta works. It's not great, but it does get 2.4 procs a day, or 2.5 procs a day, which at max level main skill, that is kind of significant, but I think it's probably better to just go with a more traditional healer, which we can't use, there's no fire types to that, so it's probably better to go with our Pawmots, which we will have be a Pawmot by then. Okay, that's what we're looking at. And then we have plenty of eggs. Pawmot also adds a little bit more milk to the mix, which means we just need to make a little bit more tomatoes, which here's where we can just make up the difference here. Like, let's assume for like 10 times 7, like 70 apples stockpiled. And then 37 tomatoes, let's make that like 42 across 7 days, 200, let's just say round that up to like 300 tomatoes. And there we go. Here's salads taken care of. And this team is pretty solid. 6.29 million strength. Roughly. Using only 3 that match the typing of the boosts. But then using these guys for more ingredient supplements. So I think this is a pretty alright team. I think we kind of got salads figured out. So, next. Let's try to figure it out for desserts, because I think that's the next best one for me. Okay, desserts, because, I mean, I could look at what's offered in curries. I should always at least take a peek. If they have a lot of oil, that's notable, but there's nothing high that uses a lot of oil. Ginger would also be kind of notable. Apples. Yeah, there's nothing for those options. So, I think our best route is going for more the desserts route. Can we go for Clodsire Eclairs? It's probably best to just go Zing Zap. Because then we got the Raichus. We can stockpile some leeks, maybe. You probably won't... Well, let's actually just start by duplicating the last team, because then we already know what we got fixed. Okay. Let's get rid of this team. Night, all have a good one. Night, Jack. Glad having chat. Sup, Cam? What have I missed? We're team building, Ben. We're team building. I've decided I'm going to Old Gold Power Plant. That's probably the biggest thing you missed. Okay. Alrighty, so we're gonna set that up. Which means now we have to reconsider this whole team. So instead of Chansey, we probably want to run the other Raichu. Yeah, that's definitely a good play. Yeah, I'm taking notes. Raptors team building. The good old gold. Yeah, yeah. Okay, that gets me enough ginger and almost enough apples just by default. We don't need Espeon. It's probably best to run Quaquaval instead of Vikavolt. Because Quaquaval can take advantage of more of them, and it has helping bonus. So, we're going to put Quaquaval down. Definitely got a Pawmi to work on. Berry Finding S, Health Speed M, Skill Trick M. That's a good Pawmi. That's a really good Pawmi. There we go. So that's plenty of leaks. I'm surprised that the helping bonus in the Quaquaval didn't tip the apples over. But then we can just stockpile 36 times 7, 252 coffee. There we go. 622 ingredients. That's plenty of space left in our ingredient bag for potential other things. I guess we need to stockpile a few more apples. I guess for more than that, I want probably like 100 apples, maybe. Yeah, like 100 apples. So I guess this is probably what we're going to be going for. This team, for desserts, the other team. Now, we do want to make sure that we have the ingredients to at least make one meal, so I can start off each day. So, we have the coffee and the apples for Zing Zap. We want to start off with 20 leeks for Zing Zap. And then, how much ginger is it? I need to remember how much ginger it is. Let's see. 20. Okay. We're not going to have enough bag space to hold all this, so I may have to cut back on my confidence intervals for security. Okay. So I need 20, 20, 300, 100, 252. We'll probably have to make this like 90 instead of 100 if I had to guess. Greengrass Expert 4 million and half versus OGPB 5 million some. Where should I go? I mean, it depends on what your goals are. Which beast do you want to target down the most? Because I wouldn't rule out Cyan or Top if you want to try and target Entei or target Suicune. In the past, Wild Legend spawns have not been that significant. But in the past, Wild Legend spawns have only ever been slightly greater appearance rate, not greater appearance rate. They may actually be significantly spawning in completely at random. So, if you want to target one specifically, then I think going to the island that they spawn actually may give you decent odds to at least encounter one or two wild ones throughout the course of the event. So, consider which legend is going to suit your team builds the best. Or your box. I've got a lot of good electric types, so I want a Raikou. That's kind of my thought line. Okay, now this meal, we have the apples already covered. Eggs we do not. Tomatoes we do. Milk we do not. It only takes like 9 milk though, I want to say, doesn't it? Let me actually pull up the meal infographic. I'm just going to pull up the abbreviated one for now because I'm looking at some of the higher tier meals. Okay, let's take a look at this. It's 18 milk. Okay. That's actually kind of rough. Because I don't think I have the... Yeah, that fills up just with the 18 milk. Where can I budget in a little bit more? I would need just enough to make the eggs. Which, how much is the egg requirement? I think it's like 35, isn't it? That's... Whew, 35? Okay. Let's cut back on tomatoes a bit. We're gonna have to cut it real close. Let's say like 280. Uh-oh, Rerun X server's having issues. No, I think my computer, it just doesn't like, Wait, are they? Are they having issues? Oh no. Nope, they're not having issues. They're fine. My computer's just being slow. Okay, so 280. That still gives us enough tomatoes. If I make this 85 apples, then I can fit in the 35 eggs. Which means we have 35 eggs, 18 milk, and we have plenty of apples, which this also takes for this meal. And then we also have at least 35 apples, 20 ginger, 20 leeks, and plenty of coffee for the opposite meal types. So that's our ingredient list. We need to get my ingredient bag to be this exact spread. 280 tomatoes, 85 apples. This is the spread I need. I'm going to start doing ingredient bag prep already, I think, just because, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll wait a little bit, but I am the type that tries to plan out far enough in advance, and then worst thing that can happen, I can start building up a berry bomb or some sort. Running Swalot, who doesn't really care about ingredients, so yeah, this should be intriguing to see how it goes. The biggest thing we're trying to do right now is just build a berry bonus, so how can Randomics have server issues when they run everything client-side? They do have server issues sometimes. That actually has been a thing that's happened in the past. I'm not sure what happens when that happens, but there have been times when the site is down. I'm not sure what that looks like, though, or why that happens. I'm not a networking person. Alrighty, I've got to go film my metronome video. I can't wait to see it, Adrian. That's going to be great. I still need to watch your next Helpers video. I haven't actually gotten around to it yet. I was working a while today on Hohenstadter's Crestminster. I think I'm about 2/5 of the way done with it. If I had to guess, I was getting 502 errors for a couple minutes. Seems fine now. Interesting. Very interesting. But I think I have my, oh, but this only takes care of 1 week. Oh, man, that's... I forgot about that. It's 2 weeks. That changes everything a little bit. Yeah. I might need to cut back and make a weaker meal, or run more ingredient specialists. Gonna do a Crestminster for the dogs. Yes, I do intend to do that. They're going to be... I'm specifically going to limit it, though, that in order to do the Crestminster for the dogs, it's going to be that you can only submit them if you include the catch-by date. And the only ones that were caught during the event are going to be allowed. Just because I don't want to give an unfair advantage to long-term players or veteran players over newbies. Because then you could just show the one that you've already caught. I'll tell you, I'd probably win Entei if I could enter, and it was past ones, but no, it's going to be only ones caught during the event. Which, interestingly, actually does favor... It actually does favor veteran players more, because they probably already caught one, so they don't have to get over the hurdle of catching their initial one. Meanwhile, other new players are going to have to catch that initial one before they can get random skills, but oh well. I can't really get past that. Manage it live. Glad to have you here, Sleeper C. Glad to have you here. But yeah, I guess I can only really do prep for one, because this is a lot of ingredients. Unless I'm willing to just sacrifice a little bit of extra strength to get to span out both weeks by running something else that'll make more ingredients. I mean, I'm not sure how I could optimize this team anymore other than just not running Entei. I could run something that makes coffee. I could run the Vika Bolts, honestly. We've already caught that first one. Was this first one? Will this first? No, it will not be random. They've confirmed that here. For each species of Pokemon... Oh, but if you've already caught the first one, it will be random. Yeah, because it's tracked on a species basis, not an event basis. Helpers is not going to bother catching any of them, but if I have a team of 5, I may push for 1 mil. Enjoy. Heard, thank you. Yeah. I only have triple trigger health speed M Entei. Alas, I'm a runner-up. That would still be that's still a really solid Entei. They also really like the legendary beasts specifically, since they have such low trigger rates and They actually really appreciate inventory more than a lot of other skills specialists do. Just because they're low trigger rates. Okay, second. Should I use an incense on Monday for shiny odds? Wait. Are shiny odds boosted during the full moon? I thought that was a new moon specific thing. I guess I don't know what they... Because I know that they made some changes to the full moon. But anyway... I mean, you should be using almost any spawn incense during the event, because that even just getting one extra spawn is pretty nice. Which means you get higher odds at you get more mains, more event currency. So probably hold on to your spawn incenses, like your Pokemon incenses, even if it's like a Metapod. You can use that during the event to get more main, more down, or whatever it'll be called. Event currency. Okay, well maybe I can sacrifice Entei on this team to gun for desserts, and then I can save a bit more bag space by running Vikavolt. Then I only have to stockpile like 12 coffee instead. I think that's all it takes for cooking. Yeah, just 12 coffee to make one. And it does drag back my strength a little bit. Oh, but then I need more apples, because now I'm making less apples with Raichu. With the Raichus. Because of the, yeah, shoot. That messes things up. Well... 15 times 7. I'm gonna do 16 times 7 just to... Like 112 more apples. Plus 85. We'll make it just 200 flat. That comes up to about 197. We'll make it 200. Wannabe feathers. Types won't matter for this event, right? Incense-wise, I mean. I'll double check. I thought it did, that fire, electric, and water types did give more, but I don't know, I didn't double check. Let's see, research community. Oh, that's research community. Spawns, though. Sleep research. Okay, this is the main way to get Pokemon materials. The number of Pokemon materials depends on the species of Pokemon and sleep styles you find them in. So that kind of implies that it doesn't matter because it doesn't say, but... Either way, so then rarer ones would do better. Things like Onyx. But we'll only know once the data mines are out for that. Okay. That does make it that I only need like 12 coffee, though, for just one craft of it. Which does bring my bag space down a significant amount. I'm not sure there's any way I could cut back on this team at all. Because all these guys are contributing in some way. I guess I am overproducing milk a little bit. But I'm not sure there's really a way around that. Yeah, I think this is just the best we're going to do. Is this for this. But then it was like 200 here. It does save me some bag space, but not a whole lot. If I could get the Entei to level 60, that would solve a lot of our problems. But I'm saying this now, there's no way I'm getting that between now and then. There's no way I'm leveling it 9 levels, level 51 to 60. That would save me a lot of tomato space, though. I could cut back 35 per day. I could take like 30. Oh, that'd be like an extra 210 bag space. That'd be great. If you overproduce milk in week 1, can you... That's true. The thing is, I can't count on having milk. Well, but if I don't have milk week 1, then I theoretically don't need it for week 2. I just need the 18 for it. So then, like, I guess week 2... Theoretically, if I'm overproducing... Hold up, 35 a day. There's some weird puzzle here, because then what I'm making during week 1 would roll over into week 2. The same thing would be true with the coffee on this one. I'm overproducing 81 coffee a day. So theoretically, Vikavolt could be swapped off, but I also could overproduce it to have it stockpiled for week 2, which means then week 2 we wouldn't need to run as many... Okay, this is about to get real complicated. You brought up some interesting points here, Jess. Because then maybe week 2 I could, instead of running Espeon, I might have, say, enough milk. But I might. Because I can't count on getting this specific one week 1, because I'm trying to give myself flexibility to run 2 different meal types both weeks. I think it's better to just try and count on each one being independent of each other, so I only have half a bag space to deal with. Which changes things a lot. I guess I don't need 30... Wait, what? Oh, wait, yeah, it's overproducing because Entei is only level 51. If only my Entei was level 60, that would fix all of this. That would fix all of this. But I can't do that. I guess these numbers can't really be changed at all. It's just the tomatoes and the apples. Well, I guess then I don't need to worry about these ones specifically. If I can just double these. Because those are the only ones that I need if I'm worrying about week 1 versus week 2. So if I just double the apple count... But I don't have that much bag space, because that doubling the apple count alone puts me at like 700 something. If I make it exactly what Raynonex thinks I need to get all those Entei candies when the shop opens. Oh man, that would definitely help a lot. But I still don't think it's gonna get me to level 60. Let's cut back on the tomatoes until we hit exactly +0. Okay. So 257 and 189. I still don't... That does not put us within range. I think I just have to count on getting one week and getting the other week. The stamp apples. I did not count in the stamp apples. You get 10 apples, so I can discount 7 of these. Or 10 of them, because you do get 10 from the stamp apples per week. So across both weeks, I'll get 20 apples. So actually, I can take off another 10. Well, but can I? No, I don't think... No, because it might be... I may only get one of them the first week, and then... Well, okay. If we're doubling, though, then I can... Yeah, because we're doing per week, so I wouldn't be able to do that twice. Nightcap P. That is accounted for in this calculation, because I have it logged up here. Nightcap Pika is accounted for. Just pray for the Entei R week that you get the right meals. I mean, theoretically, if I get 1 week desserts and 1 week salads, then I'm fine. Because I get 1 of each. It's only problematic if I get 2 weeks back to back. I guess I could just prep half the ingredients necessary for the other week. Of this, like, tomato mix. But theoretically I should have, like, double this. Which would put me way overboard. So I can just do a 257 to 179 ratio. Which is a weird ratio. And then multiply that by my remaining space. Which my remaining bag space is 700 minus 541. And if I multiply that by my ratio, then I get the numbers. 1.43575. That's the farthest I'm going for decimals. 228. Okay. Wait, is that real? Nope, I did the inverse. Did the math backwards. Darn. Okay, so I actually need to do... I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I need to do part to total. I'm just doing math here. Give me a moment. Just run a mid plusle in mine, and they will be nuts with +5 main skill. Oh yeah, they'd make coffee. And they'd make... Yeah, I guess plusle makes coffee. Mine makes honey. So I guess I'd make the coffee needed. But then that takes 2 team slots. I don't think they're going to make enough random ingredients to really reliably make me this stuff. Because everything here is contributing somewhat to the meal. So 436. Okay. 0.589. That number times... 257. No. Darn it. Okay. $159 times whatever the actual ratio I need is 0.5894. So 93 extra tomatoes on top of the 257 I already have is 350. And then for the other ones, for the apples, 700 minus 634. 66 more plus 179, 245. There we go. I'm not going insane, guys. 200. Here's the exact amounts, and it doesn't quite span 2 weeks worth, but it gives us relative confidence for both kind of during their own weeks. We'll see how this works out for me. I think there's going to be just a little bit of gambling. I can always just run Skeledirge for a day in place of, like, the Raichu or the Espeon, because the Espeon's going to be overproducing milk if I need it. Theoretically, on this team, the Vikavolt's going to be overproducing coffee, so I could run Skeledirge for like a day to get more apples. On this team, I could replace the Espeon with Victory Bell for more tomatoes when I need it. There's a bit more flexibility there to swap in what I need for whatever it is that I'm going for, so only time will tell. Catch 2 plusles during triple type week and run them together as a pair for week 2 coffee with the +5. That's not the problem, though. Like, I have plenty of coffee productivity. That's the... The problem is apples and tomatoes. I guess... And I can't swap this guy off, because if I swap this guy off, I won't make enough ginger. If I swap this guy off, I won't make enough... I do have another Raichu that could make more apples. But none of this stuff can be swapped off reasonably to make more apples. On this other team, none of this stuff can be afforded to be swapped off for more tomatoes. If I swap off Entei, then I make less of everything. If I swap off Entei, I make less tomatoes. Palmot's the healer, can't swap that. Chansey does overproduce eggs, so I could swap that sometimes. Espeon produces more milk, I could swap that sometimes. Raichu is just berries, but also apples. So, I can't swap these two because of their role. So, none of this stuff, if I'm going to follow as strictly static teams, can be swapped. I just have to rely on the fact that if I get that type, I can just rotate a little bit as necessary. 5 plusles, you don't need a healer if they all heal each other. They don't, though. You would need Minans for healing. Hear me out. 4 plusles. I don't think 4... Let's just see what this would look like. Just for the sake of... Let's just see what this would look like. I'm not going to give them any sub-skills. We'll make them level 30 just to give a little bit of generosity. You know what? We'll give them Helping Speed M. And make them max skill level. Let's just see how this works. 4 plusles and a healer. What sort of shenanigans do we get up to here? Let's put in my Palmot. How many ingredients are they gonna... Okay, make them mid. Fine, I'll make them mid plusle options. We'll also make this dude actually alright. You know, it's gonna be electric fire, water, like that. Old gold power plant for the area bonus. There we go. I'm gonna make sure that these settings are set correctly to be good camp tickets. All that jazz. We'll make them more than mid because I still don't think they're gonna do. I still don't think they're gonna be good even with decent stats. But we'll make them a little bit better than mid. A decent amount better than mid. We'll make the... Oh, wait. We gotta make them level 50 to actually get all 3 sub-skills. Give me a minute. How many of each ingredient are we getting off of these guys? There we go. This event will carry them. Yeah. Okay, 10.8 of each ingredient per day. I mean, off of each one, that's... If they actually had these stats, that's the thing, they have to actually have these stats. But 10.8 of each ingredient per day. Times 4 plusles. It's 43 of each ingredient every day. Woo! 43 of every ingredient. I guess with that, you could actually make, like, certain meals pretty... Like, every meal pretty reliably. Well, like, at least one per day of, like... If you're in curries, like... This meal has no overlap with the second meal, so you could do, like, breakfast, lunch, dinner... Oh, but there's overlap between the sausage, so this is going to be dinner. But it's 43, that's almost enough to make both of these. That'd be 50. Golduck made my skills weak. Himar Heracross. We also are way overproducing coffee here. Potatoes doesn't overlap. Tomatoes does, though. But those added together only equals 40, so this would still work. There we go. And cacao doesn't, milk, so you could do that with curries. What would this team produce? Like, this is with my meal settings, so... Oh my goodness, this looks horrendous. I don't even want to look... What am I looking at there? Look at... Also the coffee requirement! Plus... Can I zoom in on that? Give me a moment here. Oh, the zooming isn't working right now. Oh, wait, there we go. Wait. 3,813% coffee productivity. 3,813% the coffee productivity necessary. This is a funny looking team, and man, my computer is struggling to zoom out. Give it a minute. We'll just refresh the page. That should probably fix it faster. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different ingredients. The best part of waking up is coffee filler in your pot. Yeah, you would just use coffee. You'd have so much coffee with this team. This would be an excessive amount of coffee. If you can get this many plusles, then this is a funny team. A funny haha. You're making 1,348 ingredients a day. That's insane. Divide by 3. I mean, you would need a mine-in at that point. Like, or maybe not. I guess you could maybe do it with 2 mine-ins. Because then, with the energy boost... Wait. What if we just add 2 mine-ins here? If only mine had tomatoes in its list. Because now we're not making enough tomatoes. Because we don't have another plusle there. But the energy curve... I mean, they're doing fine for energy with this. With 2 mine-ins. And you're actually devouring probably as many of those ingredients as you can. 4 millions... Almost 5 million Snorlax strength off this random team. Okay, the best part wait, how does Mime interact with this? Does Mime make... Wait a minute. Does Mime make tomatoes with the skill when it procs? He does! I did not know that. That is very intriguing. So let's make this a mime. But now we're hurting for energy. But he's not boosted during the event, but that's alright. We're making plenty of tomatoes. Why is this an actual thing that's, like, kind of working? Mime isn't boosted, though. Yeah, it isn't. But it still does the job that we need it to do of getting the tomatoes in. And look at... That energy curve is actually decent. What? Mime and Nara sauce. Yeah. Now, theoretically, the mime wouldn't have level 7 main skill, though. And actually, all these guys, if you don't have a... They would actually be one... I hate to burst everyone's bubble, but plus 5 main skill levels is only going to make them level 6. And this is making... So, you gotta consider that as well. They'd only be level 1 main skill with the boosted by 5. It would make them level 6, not level 7. Plusle puts the P in OP. Oh gosh. Let me set the event bonus correctly here. Level 5. That is still making plenty of all the ingredients. With the what is this? What have we just postulated here? Let's theorize that it's someone who's actually been leveling the meals, and I don't know if this meal level is set correctly. Let's theorize just level 60. Let's not take it all the way to level 65, because that's a bit extreme. Let's just say level 60 for these 3 meals. If that's the case, then 4.7 million almost? Chat's right. We knew the bonus wasn't maxed. This is the greatest team ever made. Theoretically, 3 plusles and 2 minons, if you got them all to max main skill level, should actually do pretty okay at just making you random meals with a lot of coffee bonus. In theory. I guess you could, instead of one of these plusles, you could swap in a Vaporeon as well. Because you only need 1 plusle and 1 minin for them to get the boost. And Vaporeon's boosted as well. So actually, it's probably better to, instead of 2 plusles, because you already have a minin and a plusle, and then... Wait. What is it with Vaporeon? Because it's going to be boosted for the event as well, and it's actually going to have maxed out... Oh, whoops. You gotta make sure one of these is a plusle. Just so that it matches the, so that it makes the minin do its thing. Yeah, and then that works, and then we're making even more ingredients. Well, actually, wait, that seems like less. Oh yeah, it is less, because there was more coffee before. How many plusles can we switch out for mimes and dittos? Being censored good, I already said that too. RIP. Super strongest while also being the cutest. That's true. It's very adorable. Vaporeon. It looks like a lot of that strength comes from the skill, so I'm assuming the ingredients, but I don't think you'll be able to consume all those ingredients. We'll have to clear your bag. This calculation's already accounting for that. We may have to... Can we swap out... If we take out one of the... If we take out one of the Vaporeons, then we don't quite get what we need. Because with another minin, we could get more pod expansion, theoretically. Is there a pod expander that makes sausage and leeks and soybeans? I don't think so. The sausage, Vaporeon... Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What is Plusle's ingredients list? It gets leeks. Oh my gosh. Wait. Soybeans. Soybeans are the one limit. Wait, what's Minon's? Okay, Minin does not get soybeans. And yeah, neither does Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime gets leeks, though. If only one of them can make soybeans. Does Mime have them? No, Mime has leeks. Golduck level 60 for sausages. That's true. I think, realistically, if we wanted to do this, it'd just be like 80 soybeans stockpiled in advance. There we go. Like, you can just stockpile a little bit. You don't have to purely rely on the RNG. There we go. Oh, we can just do like 50 of these and that should be enough. Not 250, that's a lot. But theoretically, you don't know what ingredients you're going to be getting. It's not consistent. But theoretically, only 792 ingredients across all 5 of these. Then, realistically, they're also proccing enough of the skill that... How much pod expansion are we getting? An additional 406 per day off the Binans. With 104, so let's see. 104 times 3... plus 406 from the 2 Minans, that's 718. You will still be throwing out some ingredients. You'd still be throwing out some ingredients. But Rain on X already accounts for pot size, so it would be limiting you a little bit, but you can take advantage of Minan's main skill to actually get that advantage. And Mr. Mime is being funny, haha. Oh wait, he gives a little bit as well. Gotta get added just a little bit more because it copies the main skill. So 19 more, 737. You know, for expected output, this isn't that bad. You're only throwing away 55 ingredients per day, which is kind of funny. Okay, you don't know what you'll get, but you're gonna get something, probably. Yeah, that's basically how it is. You're getting all those ingredients from the Vaporeon and the Plusle, and some from Mr. Mime. And then just get a little bit of soybeans, and yeah. Now the question is, how does this perform with both salads and desserts as well? Let's start with the same team building theory of just pick 3 meals that have completely zero over. So obviously the best ones should be picked first and foremost, which conveniently those 2 have no overlap. Which we'll just do level 60 meals again for comparison's sake. Rotate Vaporeon for Golduck. Done. I mean, that doesn't... Oh, wait. For the extra ingredients. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Petal Blizzard has overlap in the eggs. Green Grass has overlap in the oil. But it is producing, like, a lot of oil. So maybe it could actually do Green Grass Salad. But I think if we stepped on a Ninja Salad, I don't think there's any overlap. There's no ginger in either of these. No mushrooms in either of these. No soybeans in either of these. And no leeks. So, there we go. We have our 3 meals selected. And this should just happen. Oh, wait. Eggs. It doesn't produce quite enough eggs. Okay, so we stockpile like 100 eggs. Actually, wait. Doesn't Minun make eggs? We can make Minun be a little bit of supplementary egg producing. If we could theoretically pick their ingredients list. There we go. Now you don't have to bother with it. This is just funny to me. Whenever your bag is almost full, you can swap your point out. Yeah. Mine. Oh yeah, that's true. Ditto does oil and leeks if that's more helpful than Mime's tomatoes. That's also true. Oil and leeks. Not really though, because Plus already kind of makes leeks. So, in theory, I could leave this as level 50 and just do leeks in the B slot. But either way. Desserts or salads 5.3 mil versus 5.05 mil. Now let's see what it does for desserts. This is insane. Why is this something we're actually discussing? Okay, Clodsire, Eclairs, and Zingzap both have overlap in the coffee. We don't have to worry about overlap in coffee because we're making plenty of coffee, so we can just do that for sure. Meanwhile, they don't overlap the other ingredients, so that doesn't matter. Flower Gift Macarons does overlap with Clodsire Eclairs, and the... Ooh. Apples overlap. Early Bird Coffee Jelly overlaps with milk and honey. Although we can probably do it if we have the right ingredients lists on some of them. So, let me set this right here. Set to desserts. Okay. And yeah, we make enough. Would you look at that? Actually, over on the... We barely make enough apples for this. But it's definitely the weakest of the three because we had to go so far down the list before we had something that didn't have too much overlap. But basically, with the boosts here, but you have to have really strong options. That's the thing. I gave them skill trigger M, health speed M, and helping bonus on all of them. You don't have this. Nobody has this. Other than sleep, what are your other hobbies? Watching or seeing any good movies or shows? Playing games outside of sleep and Excel. I like movies, and shows at times. I was just talking the other day about how I love Christopher Nolan movies. I just recently watched, The Prestige with my brother. That was fun. I love board games as well. I'm a huge board game geek. Board games, huge hobby of mine, actually. I have the mine, and can the community build the team? If somebody has all this in their box, then this is a funny haha team. A real funny haha team. Excited for Odyssey. I'm excited to see. I intend to see it in theaters when it comes out, but Prestige, great movie. Have to live the act. Such a great... Yeah, he lives the act. Such a great quote. And it was funny because I was watching it and my brother had never seen it before. Yeah. You should play Outer Rim when you come visit. Ooh, I've heard of Outer Rim before. I've never actually played that one. Lately I've been playing a lot of this one with my sister. It's called... It's about birds. Like bird watching. Wingspan. That's a real fun board game. Otherwise, I've gotten really into this one called Cascadia. I actually played that one with Adrian when I brought it over to his place when I visited him. But also, I'm always down for Dungeons and Dragons. Is one of my favorite games. I gotta have a group for that. I got a group that plays on Friday nights sometimes. Wingspan is a great game, yes. I've not tried Wormspan or Finspan at all, but we did just get the Asia expansion. But we haven't tried it yet. The Birds of Asia expansion. Wormspan is a bit more complicated. Finspan is supposed to be simpler and easier to teach. Interesting. I'd love to try it sometime. But yeah. It's a great game. I've been playing it so much with them. It's a great game. But yeah, that's pretty much a lot of my hobbies, I'd say. As far as video games go, I haven't played a lot of video games in a while. I think the last video game I got big into was Elden Ring. Maybe Minecraft is always like a here and there. I play some with some buddies. But Elden Ring was my last video game addiction, I'd say. Hi guys. Hey Asa. Good to have you in chat again. This is just this team for this event. Honestly, people probably have this Vaporeon. This Vaporeon probably actually exists. Don't know if anyone has this mime, but what was your Elden Ring build? My Elden Ring build was I tried a lot of different Elden Ring builds. I used the Uchi-Katanas a couple times. I used the Rivers of Blood sometime. But I also then eventually got big into heavy weapons when I was playing through the DLC. So I got like a big greatsword from some guy early on in the DLC. In like a... And then I got a big greatsword from some dude. I forgot what it was, but... Cool Ash of War. That was the one that makes the poise damage greater. That was fun. I knocked them a lot, damaging their poise, you know. Kamehameha caster, but land on a Darth Maul build in future playthroughs. Nice, nice. I like just the big weapon go bonk. Big heavy weapon. Should get a board game channel in the Discord. Maybe do some tabletops in the board game. That would honestly be fun. I would not be opposed to it. I could look into setting that up, but not while on stream. That'd be an off-stream activity. Just started Curse of Strahd with a new group. No spoilers. I DM'd an entire Curse of Strahd campaign. That's a fun one. A real fun one. Yeah, I was the DM for the Curse of Strahd. And we actually, that's one of only 2 campaigns I've DM'd that actually made it start to finish. But that's a real good... It's probably, in my opinion, the best module that Wizards of the Coast has released. I think there are other fan-made and community-built modules that are better, but I think as far as the ones that Wizards of the Coast have made, I think Curse of Strahd's my favorite. Never had luck getting a D&D group. That's so sad. D&D is like... It's so laced into, like... I love it so much, so, yeah. It's one of my favorite hobbies. I have a group that plays every Friday night. Usually, there are some Friday nights that get busy. And that's usually when my D&D group gets canceled, is when I'll do a stream on a Friday night. Because then it's like, oh, my D&D got canceled. What am I going to do tonight? I'll stream. I've been in 3, and the furthest we got was session 4 in one of those. I've been in a couple one-shots at our LGS. Well, at least you had some experience with it. At least you had to get on up to session 4, but... that mime, a trigger bonus speed? Yeah, it's confusing. We were more focusing on the skills than we were focusing on the ingredients. The ingredients were supplementary. Bias detected. I write for Pathfinder. Ah, makes sense. Makes sense. I almost played a Pathfinder campaign, but I didn't get past session 0. I built a character, and then we never actually planned a session with the rest of the group, so Baldur's Gate 3 is great if you like D&D. Yes, I've played through Baldur's Gate 3. I never got through a second playthrough or anything like that, though, but I played through it once. That is a great game. Yeah, I have the mime with the main skill up nature. Oh, nice, nice. That makes it better. Playing Pathfinder, Path Builder is almost as good as playing Excel. What's funny is I started min-maxing without even playing the game. I was like trying to figure out the numbers and crunching the numbers on things. On board game. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I'll have to see if we can get going in the Discord, because I do have Tabletop Simulator. But yeah. Play vicariously through Dimension 20. I listened to a podcast. I haven't listened to it in a while, but I'll show you guys, actually. I'll have to be very careful not to show too much on my screen, but I'll go into Do Not Disturb mode, because I am a little bit... But the background from my phone is actually artwork for... It's actually artwork for a podcast that I listen to. If anybody knows what it is, then you get brownie points with me. I'll just show the background here on stream. This is the backdrop. My whatever it's called. In that screen where you see all the apps, my home screen. It's a reference to a D&D podcast I listen to, and they have me roped in. Listen to them whenever they go to work. They release every other Tuesday or so. Like I said, you guys get brownie points with me if you know what that's a reference to. I doubt anyone would, though. It's a pretty niche podcast. Can play that online. Ever played Hanabi? Hanabi? I have not played that one. Oh, that was cool. I want Cynical, but it'll be so easy to hit Master 20 on OGPP, so I don't know where to go. Well, I need Raikou candy, so that probably seals the deal. Fair enough. It's actually not Dungeons and Daddies. I know of that one as well, though. I'll just say it, because it seems like nobody has any idea. It's a reference to Fool's Gold Sands, which is made by the Dingo Doodles. It's their podcast. It's only like 3 people. But I love their podcast. Hanabi's My Gold Duck is named after... Oh yeah, that's right. I knew Hanabi sounded familiar. I knew it sounded familiar. Should I name one of my Pokemon after a board game? If I catch a Braviary, good Braviary, maybe I'll name it Wingspan. I need to catch one worth investing, though, before I can do that. I guess a dragon type could be Wormspan. I do have a Dragonite. And I don't think it has a name right now, if I'm right. My wallet just gave me a double trigger, by the way. Gave me like 6,900 dream shards, roughly. Almost 7,000. I stopped casting the phone because it's not plugged in, so don't want to drain the battery. I also have played a little bit of 40K. I've played a little bit of 40K, like the actual war game, with my D&D group. They got me into that a little bit. It's been a while since I've played it, though, and I only played a couple games. I think I was kind of getting the hang of it. That's a more complicated one. My Braviary is my best mon. Well, it can be the best for some people. It's a decent mon, honestly. Good night. Thanks for helping me to narrow down my decision. Best of luck at the event. Anytime, Jazz. Have a good night yourself. Name my Golduck iPen Brown. He's shiny. Nice. Unfortunate that the shiny Golduck is such a step back in quality from the shiny Psyduck. Shiny Psyduck's a great shiny. Shiny Golduck, it's not terrible. I've seen worse shinies, but it's definitely a step back from shiny Golduck. The Blueberry Psyduck is just amazing. I want to play more Wonderlands War, but my friend group prefers games that last an hour or less and can go on for 2 to 3 depending on player count and experience. Yeah, I do like longer games sometimes. I've got one that I've invested a lot into. It's called Red Dragon Inn. That one's not a super long game, but if you have someone with all the different expansions, it can get really complicated and you can make it long. And my buddies at college and we love to play that one quite a bit, and it got to be pretty... It could be long if we could play that one for hours, honestly, even if it's multiple games. But that one's... It's weird, because it could be 15 minutes, but also if you use all the expansions, it could be genuinely hours, especially with a lot of players. Okay. Shiny Psyduck is my favorite shiny. That's fair enough. Shiny Psyduck is gorgeous. It's one of the better shinies in this game. One of the better shinies in Pokemon as a whole. Like, let's take a look at him. It's that blueberry. It's just the color of a blueberry. It's gorgeous. Like, look at that. Look at him waddling. I would love to try Red Dragon Inn out. I've been playing Tails in the Red Dragon Inn with a friend. Wow, I've actually wanted to play Tails from the Red Dragon Inn. I have the entire, like, I've spent way too much money on that game. I guess mini confession time. Back in college, I went through a pretty bad breakup, and I kind of went through a retail therapy spree where I bought pretty much every single expansion that exists for Red Dragon Inn. Not a healthy way to cope through things, but fun game. I spent way too much money on it. I definitely have gotten a lot of usage out of it, though, because my college buddies and I loved playing it. But yeah, it's a great game. But definitely, it's one of those that there are so many different expansion packs for it that, like, you could spend a lot of money on it, and I have done that. But all of it's free online. If you play Tabletop Simulator, you can add all the expansions right in, but it's a great game. All the content for RDI is kind of what kept me from diving into it. Yes, it very much so is. I could show my massive box sometime. It's huge. Shiny Psyduck is my sleep. Okay, framed. Oh, the profile picture. Yeah. I mean, it's a great shiny. I have a shiny Psyduck, but it sucks. It's terrible. I actually kind of forgot I had it until we just talked about it. That, like, unlocked a memory for me. One of my other favorite games is Toy Story Obstacles and Adventures. It's a deck building game. It's a reskin of Hogwarts Battle. That's neat. As long as we are confessing, I've spent way too much on Zombicide. Yeah, board games can easily rope you in. That's the one thing unfortunate about it. It's not a cheap hobby. It's a fun hobby, but not very cheap. And oftentimes I'd say not great as far as return on investment goes, because you always need to have someone to play it with you. Like, video games, you can always just kind of play on your own. But then, like, board games, there are very few that have good solo options. Wingspan, I'd say, actually does have a good solo single-player mode, good solitaire option, but so many of them do not have great solitaire options. Yeah, I do have a shiny Psyduck. It's terrible, just like I thought. It's got a speed of help down nature. And it has skill trigger M at level 100. Terrible. Mercurial is my favorite at the moment. I've not tried that one. Sounds interesting. Don't know anything about it, though. But yes, I don't even want to begin to explain how much money I've spent on Red Dragon Inn. But I do have a massive, massive collection for that. My girlfriend makes fun of me for how many of my games are still in plastic wrap. I'll play them all someday. Oh, that's so sad. That is so very sad. Outer Rim has AI cards. I've never used them to play solo because it feels like I would need to be more depressed to do it. That's kind of how Wingspan's AI mode works, or like single player mode. It's got like it's called the Automata. And like you pull the cards and it determines certain actions, and it actually works pretty well in Wingspan. I don't know how it would work for Outer Rim. Oh, I joined in Red Dragon. It is being brought up. Oh no. It's alright. It's alright, buddy. I was just confessing about how I bought way too much of that game. It's a great game, though. Great game. Phenomenal game. But I would not recommend investing as much as I did into that game. I even have some collector's cards. Some cards that you can't get anymore. Because they were like part of a one-time, like, oh, we're doing this charity event, donate $5, and you get this one limited time card that you can only get from this charity event. And I fell into that sort of thing. So I have some, like, unique cards that you can't get anywhere else. Oh, I know, I was there. Yes, I'm aware you were there. It was definitely expensive. Solo gaming was weird at first, but it can be a lot of fun. I haven't done it much this last year, so since getting my dog, because setting up and tearing down is annoying and this dog will eat stuff. Yep, that's fair. Dogs will do that. Some of the limited Gen Con cards for Wizard Kittens. Nice, that's cool. It's always cool to have limited edition stuff, and honestly, I think some of that limited edition stuff feels more valuable, even though you use it less, than like the full box sets of like Red Dragon is boxes of characters, so you have multiple different options to play every time. There are some characters that I don't think any of us, like any of the people that I've played with, ever use because they're just not as interesting as other characters. And I just take like more of those like limited edition cards just because they feel more collector-y than I would take those entire characters that none of us ever use. But yeah, this stream has really gotten derailed from prepping a team, but I'm glad I kind of got that in. So yeah, I'm excited for Old Globe Power Plant during the event, but I do need to start prepping whenever I get the chance to. I'm going to wait till after this week, though. Maybe during Triple Type Week. Like a shiny Psyduck. Full circle. Side tracks? What? I don't know. Okay. Oh yeah, it's rare. It doesn't get you. I never even use Golduck these days. I've considered it, but sorry for distracting you, but I enjoyed the combo. Yeah, no, it was good, Slobo. Even though it's a Pokemon Sleep channel, I'm a person and just want to have discussions, and whatever engages you guys and whatever you're interested in, I'll gladly talk about, even if it's not Pokemon Sleep related. I just am kind of an expert on Pokemon Sleep, so it's what I typically talk about, because what people typically have questions about, but I'm a person just as much, and I'll gladly talk about my life. Just, I won't give out my address or my social security number. If you ask me my social security number, I'm just going to say it's 123456789. Good luck getting anywhere with that. If you get the Raikou week 1, you'll go back to expert mode week 2. Probably, because then I can build up the expert bonus without using an easy travel ticket. That's probably a good idea. Darn, I thought this was the Social Security stream. Mother's maiden name? It's a name. Yeah, I'm not just gonna be giving personal personally identifying information. That's stuff that I won't give out. But hobbies and stuff, I'll gladly discuss. In fact, I will say this. Board games, I min-max just as much as I do Pokemon Sleep. I have Excel Google Sheets, spreadsheets for Dungeons and Dragons. I've built a calculator for expected damage per turn for a character in a different RPG system that's based on 40k that no one else really does. I have spreadsheets for Red Dragon Inn categorizing each character by their type and like what they do well on. I min-max even board games to figure out what the best strategies are going to be when I'm actually playing the game. It's my way of playing the game without playing it, is to figure out the math behind the best strategies in them. I've not done that for Wingspan yet, but don't ever play Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering is one that I've said I will never touch. Not because I have moral issues with it, not because I think it's a bad game. It looks fun. But I know that I would get addicted to buying packs and spend way too much money on it, so I'm never going to touch it. Ever. Just because I don't want to risk my wallet. It looks too fun and looks too expensive. I know how I was with not Pokemon Sleep, with Red Dragon Inn, and I can't risk doing that for something that has gambling mechanics. His mother maiden's name is Neroli. There you go. We'll say that. Publicly, I'm stating that my mother's maiden name was definitely Neroli. How big was your Baldur's Gate spreadsheet? I did have a couple spreadsheets for Baldur's Gate as well. Mostly, once again, damage per turn calculations, or expected damage per out turn, based off my team composition. I'm a nerd about things. That's because your spreadsheets would just tell you to play the Corvids. I don't know how Magic works, but I'm sure that's the case. Pokemon Sleep got me into the TCG, and my wallet hates me for that. Yeah, that's why I will never become a TCG Pocket player. I know a lot of the Pokemon Sleep YouTubers, like Utrope and Brovini, both got into TCG for some time there, or are still in it, depending on which one you're talking about. But I'm not touching even TCG Pocket with a 10-foot pole, because I'm worried for my wallet. Yeah, I love Magic, but if you're a min-maxer, then you won't be happy unless you're dropping some stacks. Yep, that's why I'm not going to try them. Scalpers have helped me curb my TCG addiction entirely. No, the Crows and Wingspan. Oh, the Crows and Wingspan are amazing. That is one thing that I figured out. There was one time when I had like 3 different Crows in the same thing. It was funny. Magic sounds too much fun. I'll never play it. Yep, you can quote me on that. It sounds too much fun. It sounds like too much fun, and I cannot afford it. So, even though I'm a YouTuber, YouTube only works and makes you rich if you're a big-time YouTuber. Like I said earlier, if I took what I was making and tried to live off of it, I'd be well below the poverty line. To the point that I wouldn't have a roof over my head. So, I do still have a budget. I'm not poor by any means. I do work a full-time job and have consistent wages. Don't worry about me financially, but I'm not rich by any means either. I'm doing alright. I'm still paying off some student loans, though. Not for too much longer, though. Those should be paid off pretty soon. I'm making good progress on that. I've fallen down the financial YouTuber rabbit hole lately. These YouTube profits keep his Pokemon fed. Yeah, basically. I mean, the hobby pays for itself. I make well beyond... off of YouTube, I make well beyond what I'm spending on the game. So, it's kind of like the hobby's paying for itself. Whereas before, I was spending my own money on it, which is honestly why I've been able to make more expenses on diamonds in game than I have in the past. Congrats on having... Yeah. Yeah, no, my loan progress has been pretty good. Should be paid off by end of November, based off the calculations that I've run. And the spreadsheets that I've got like 4 spreadsheets for budgeting myself. I will tell you that. I make a spreadsheet for everything, so... Ooh, you're into personal finance as a hobby too. Yeah, it's something you can make a spreadsheet out of. So yeah, it's become more of a hobby lately for me. Following certain financial YouTubers, I really got into listening to Caleb Hammer's podcast on my way to work. Those people, it's crazy what some people do with their money. But we need 13 million more people to start playing Pokemon Sleep. That would be nice for my bank account, that's for sure. How do you feel about having 30 more videos than Game Theory? That's crazy that I have more videos out than Game Theory. One of the older big YouTube channels, I'd say. I'm sure there are older ones out there that are still big, but that is wild to me. I will say that. That is pretty crazy. I can't believe Caleb can find so many people willing to admit the crazy things they do with their money. Yeah, that is also crazy. This is like just so many side tangents going all over. It's crazy some of the people on that podcast. It's like, what? You do what with your money? You have how many? You took out a payday loan? Like, money. My budgeting, though, I've gotten really obsessive about it lately and made a lot of spreadsheets for it and been like, okay, yep, I can afford to do this well. So yeah, personal finance has been that's a really good hobby to get into if it interests you at all, because you can set up and plan for your future, and it definitely can go a long way with reaching goals. And if you don't do it well and don't know it very well, then it can lead you to make a lot of mistakes. Min-maxing personal finance. Yes, I will say, one of the things that I've considered making a video on, I haven't gotten around to because I've just got a lot of things going on in I've been pretty busy lately. But I have Crestminster to finish up. I want to make an expert mode video following that. Eventually I have the Toxel Crestminster is probably the next one on the docket after that. But then after that, I don't really have any immediate plans. Also, sometime in there's going to be the Legendary Beasts event strategy guide whenever we get more information about that. But one of the videos that I've had on my mind for the past 6 months that I've just never done is what concepts that min-maxing and optimizing Pokemon Sleep, what skills that can train, that can actually, taking those skills into the real life can actually benefit your life, is something that I've thought about making a video on before. And one of those genuinely has been budgeting, because budgeting your sleep points, cost-benefit analysis on is it better to run this? I think there are genuinely some things there that it can train you in ways that I've seen myself get better and more responsible with Pokemon Sleep training those habits in me. So I'd be interested to see, and interested to make a video about that concept, but I'm not sure. There's a lot of ways that could go, so. Budget and retirement planning are my most comprehensive spreadsheets. That's good. Getting your finances straight while you're so young. You look mid-20s. I'm not quite mid-20s. I'm actually young 20s. I'm 22. Time is the biggest difference maker when it comes to investing. Yep. I've heard that plenty of times. I've done the math on compound interest. I'm so glad that I'm getting into it right now when I'm just 22. Time is the biggest difference maker when it comes to investing. Yep. Happy that Pokemon Sleep doesn't have a paywall that just destroys the fun if you're not spending more and more money while progressing through the game. Yes, that's another huge thing. We're always becoming a statistician. Stocking ingredients for different meals. Yes, that's another big thing with, budgeting. Emergency fund, almost. That's a concept as well. Whaling makes real life easier, just like sleep. Depends on how you're whaling. Because it can make it easy, but if you're whaling on credit cards, that makes real life a lot more difficult. You read The Barefoot Investor? No, I have not. If I did true cost-benefit analysis of my life, I have to stop playing the game. I mean, that's fair, but some of it, enjoyment, you gotta enjoy life too. If you can set aside just some money for the fun money, as long as you budget yourself with it, you're still alright. And in my case, eventually, Ben, hey, hopefully, everyone go to subscribe to Ben's channel right now if you're not already, because he needs to hit 1,000 subscribers so he can start making money off the YouTube videos to help pay for his... That way, the cost benefit, there's more benefit than there once was. Just a baby. Yeah. 22, so young. Did you see Sleep News? Yes, I did. I made a video on it that released about 2 hours ago. But yeah, whistling at your makes them. I'm not reading that one for YouTube to pick up me saying that, but oh, a stream. I guess I missed a bunch. Oh well, it's all right. What was? Oh, an actual youngster. Yeah. I'm 22. I turned 23 in 4 months. Main seed investment choices. Is there a parallel with money investments in real life? With main skill seeds? What would be the best real life comparison to main skill seeds? I mean, the only thing that's that valuable, I'd say, would be maybe what degrees you're getting. But that's more limited than... because that takes 4 years instead of just 1 month. Youngster Joe. Yeah, Youngster Joey. Hey, it's why I have all the Radicates on the sleepers. It is the origin story for Youngster Joey. S&P index stock. Yeah, I guess what stocks you're investing in could be, but you can theoretically... like, the reason why main skill seeds are so limited is not because they're just expensive. It's more just because they're genuinely limited. Oh no, a trade class. Pokemon Sleep. It's got real-world benefit. Real-world skills you can learn from Pokemon Sleep. They're there. I'm not going crazy. It's not me just trying to justify a hobby that I've put a lot of time into. Novid. The good sleep day spawns picks my stocks. That's called... I'll end up making a bad investment. Pokemon Sleep is just day trading. Oh gosh. What are we talking about at this point? Oh, you're in tech. Certificates are like mains. Oh yeah, certificates. That'd be what your main skill seeds are. What certificates you get in. I'm qualified to wave a cane about and yell at the sky. Okay, part of that is disability, but my 20-year high school reunion was a couple years ago. More than a couple. Oh, well, your 20-year high school reunion was probably around the time that I was born then. That feels crazy to me, but oh well. Golduck is Caterpie trusts Tesla right now. Is that because it's a dozing type? Like, does Tesla doze more often? I would think a dozing type car would be more like the loud diesel engines, or like anything that's loud. Meanwhile, I would think that the electric cars would be more slumbering because they make less noise. Subskill seeds would be like amateur cooking classes or woodworking pottery course. Well, but a subskill seed would take something that you're already good at and make it better, though. So, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. It could be more like going from... yeah, I don't know. It's the evil twin of Twitch plays Pokemon. Pokemon playing the stock market. Oh, gosh. Slow pace of the game and RNG is also a good illustration of saving and investment mechanics. You know, that's true. And you gotta try and make decisions when we don't really have the full information because we don't know how the market's gonna swing. We don't know what update's gonna happen. For all we know, Wobbuffet could become the best Pokemon of the game in the next update. They could buff it. But none of us have invested in Wobbuffet. And people who did would be like... investing in Wobbuffet would be like investing in penny stocks. They're not going well at all, because right now it sucks. But one day, there could be a boost, and then just, it takes off. Wobbuffet is basically the Pokemon Sleep equivalent of a penny stock. And Meowth as well. Yeah, I was born in the 80s and Gen X. No matter what they're saying now. I don't even know what they're saying for the generation differences. Subskill seed would be hardware upgrade, like if I bought an actual computer instead of my laptop. That's a pretty good comparison. Investing in, like, yeah, a hardware upgrade. Does sleep also teach us that if our children aren't perfect, to stick them in a box and keep trying? Okay, don't do that to your kids. I'm not endorsing that by any means. Tonight we learned that Plusle and mine in our Bitcoin. Super volatile. They're great during this week if you have the right team and all of them, but... Plusle and mine and... Oh gosh. Change your kids for candy. Oh no, where is this going? Don't equate your kid. It's more your money. Dream shards and candy being your in-game equivalent of money, I guess, and time. I don't think there's a good in-game equivalent of children. My kids must be a high level with all the candy they eat. Yeah, that's possible. If Pokemon are kids, it shows that they get better with time. That's also true. And it doesn't matter what their stats are. If you get them to a high enough level, they'll still be pretty good. Even if their stats are pretty bad. What did I return to? Just real-world equivalents to Pokemon Sleep and the lessons you can learn. I don't even know what this is at this point. Talking about investment opportunity, though. Opportunity cost benefit analysis. How to manipulate what best using events. I don't know what events in the real world would be. Our digital families and children, apparently. Yep, my digital babies. So proud of them. All of them. Do you know that the real-life equivalent of your sleep score is how much sleep you get? What? Never would have guessed that one. And hey, that actually won. Getting good sleep... I know that's like the crux of the game, but getting good sleep helps you a lot in life. If you get a consistent, healthy sleep... that actually can make your just quality of life so much better. I've seen plenty of studies that show, like, that one factor alone is, like, directly correlated to your level of happiness in your life. Obviously, there are a lot of other factors. Like, if you're $1 million in debt, you probably aren't going to be that happy, even if you are getting good, consistent sleep. Especially compared to someone who's, like, debt-free and, like, gets, like, maybe a half an hour less of sleep per day than what they should. Like, that person's probably going to be happy. But generally speaking, more sleep, or more consistent sleep, means happier life. Newmon events are networking parties, work trip. That's fair enough. Yeah. Women need more sleep on average than men. That's interesting. I actually did not know that fact, but that's neat. Well, thank you for making me feel guilty about staying up for this. Yeah, I'm saying that when it's 1:30 a.m. For me. But I work evening shift. I work 2 to 10 p.m. I sleep in. Eventually be like special opportunity periods of time. Yeah. The golden age. Good sleep is real. I'm gonna need some citations. Good sleep does exist. I'm sure there are some citations. Can maybe find some articles. You can probably find some articles that are linked to in the game. There's even a study about... I know... There was a very interesting study that was posted. It was done by some university, I want to say, that like studied people who played Pokemon Sleep, and they found that they slept less on average. But yeah, I would sleep in, but the kids don't. Yeah, that's fair. Having children does change a lot. I am a single guy. I'm a single guy who doesn't have kids, so I rarely have to be up early for anything. Other than occasionally I have some real-life responsibilities with family members that does require me to get up early. Sundays, I'm usually up a little bit earlier than usual, just because I go to church Sunday morning. But other than that, I usually sleep in pretty late. I average 5 hours a night, but I'm happy. I'm indeed debt-free, so maybe you're onto something there. But I also play Magic the Gathering. Oh gosh. I mean, 5 hours a night might be healthy for you. Everyone's built a little bit differently, and some people do genuinely need less sleep than others. I know that I personally only need like 7 to feel well rested. If I'm getting more than 7 hours of sleep, that means that I'm like... I am having a long night. In fact, let's see. If I pull up my Samsung Health tracker, maybe I can show... Let me make sure there's nothing personally identifying in here. I don't think there is. Fighting fatigue since middle school. Turns out it wasn't all in my head, though. What is your occupation right now? I work a call center. I work a call center for a sales line. I'm not going to specify what I sell or what company for, just because I'd be worried putting that information out there on the internet that people might spam the company with calls just in hopes to get me, and I don't want that to be a thing. But know that I work a call center on a sales line. Just sit there, take phone calls, talk about the product, and sell it. I don't do cold calls going out at all. It's all just an inbound call center. And that's what I do. It's not a very exciting job. It's not what I imagine myself doing long term, but it's a very nice thing for right now in my life to pay the bills. Perfectly. You work remote? It's a hybrid job. I work 2 days per week from home, 3 days per week in office. My personal experience, whenever I wake up in the middle of the night, I say to myself, man, I need to sleep 3 more hours to get 100 sleep points, so I go back to it. Ooh, the call center NDA being a thing. Call center was the most mentally stressful job I ever had. Companies were so scummy, but NDA. I never actually had to sign an NDA at all. At least I don't think I did. But, you know, and the company that I work for, I genuinely, okay, I don't feel like I'm just a number. I do feel somewhat appreciated. It's not the most appreciated I felt in a job. That definitely goes to when I worked retail, interestingly enough. Usually retail is notoriously for being scummy and like, you're just a number, but the one retail job that I did have, I felt very appreciated. But right now, being in the call center, I feel somewhat appreciated. I like the job a little bit. But yeah. I used to do inbound call centers, customer service. Yep, that's really what it is. It's customer service. I believe it. I wouldn't want to be making cold calls. Working an outbound call center just sounds like it sucks. Not gonna lie. I'm so glad that it's an inbound call center only. But yeah. I do have a personal bounds of saying, nope, not saying what call center, because especially saying that publicly on the internet, that could lead to someone spam calling the company, and I don't want that being the thing, so... But yeah. I know a lot more about the topic that I sell than I ever thought I'd hope in my entire life. I was stuck taking calls for like 9 different companies all at once. Some of them were good, some were specific versions of those infomercial companies designed to scam old people out of money. That is rough. My management appreciates me. My company is generally a great company in terms of ethics, giving back to the community, business practices, employee benefits. That's good. I will say, my company, they give me phenomenal vacation time. Oh my goodness, I feel so blessed in how much time off I get. I get like... Starting rate, they said gave us 24 vacation days a year, which is like, at least in the States, that's insane. Like, that's a lot. 24 vacation days and 2 floating holidays, so 26 total, is what I start with for PTO. So, I get a lot of time off, fortunately. But, yeah, pays alright. It pays the bills really well, and I feel somewhat appreciated, so... Well, just brute force spam call them all until we find you, no worries. Good luck. There are a lot of call centers. I guess you would know the general area that I live in, because I've said that I live in central Wisconsin, so that narrows it quite a bit. But that's still, I'd imagine there's quite a few areas you could look to. Your Mon review series is kind of the Pokemon Sleep version of your day job. Yep. Yeah, pretty much, honestly. 26 days of PTO is crazy good. There's no good reason an in-town call center should be a bad job. So many call centers have bad management. Happy yours is treating you well. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I feel appreciated there. So I'm glad that it's something that I can, even though I don't necessarily love the work, I'm glad that it pays the bills, and I don't have to think about it when I'm at home. It's a job that I can very easily leave at work. The only way I have to think about it from home is that I have my work set up. I actually have like 2 offices in this room. One's my desk set up right in front of me here, and then when I'm working, I rotate the chair and I'm working over here. There's another setup over there. Good management makes such a difference. I'd agree. And then there was the complaint line. Ugh. And no vacation even for the management. They used a point system for anything not arranged a month in advance and non-paid for stuff that was. Oof, that's rough. It would be so cool to actually talk to you, though. Can you imagine both of us talking? Wow, it's almost like there's a video like that, or a couple streams. A couple streams we've done. I think it'd be more neat. This is a long shot. If it ever does happen, it'll be a while away. But there actually is a non-zero chance. There's a non-zero chance I actually end up in Utah physically sometime. I don't know what part of Utah you're in, but it'd be neat if we could do a real-life meetup if that actually works out. The odds are pretty slim, but it'd be cool. If there's anywhere I'm going to end up, it'd probably be, like, I may actually go to Utah sometime in my life. In the next couple years, realistically. So, there's a possibility there. I'm not promising anything, though. Just saying there's a non-zero chance. But yeah. Anyway, I know it's only about 1:30 a.m. and usually these streams last till like 2 or 3. But I'm starting to get a little bit tired, and I do have to work tomorrow, the next 2 days. So, I'm going to call it here. If you all have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Alright, no, this isn't a video. Just make sure to leave a like and subscribe. There's no description here, really. But anyway, yeah. Thank you all for joining the stream. I hope you all have a wonderful night. Sleep well.